Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. Only one I say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah me I pray. Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. Only one I say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah me I pray. Let I be me instead of playing games. For chasing fame, let somebody sweat the lack of flames. No, living my life to the fullest and shout out my halala to the fullest. Let my lungs out. I'm still rising up to greater heights as long as
Hello, Ponju Sanbonani. Welcome to Rise to Greater Heights Network, where you can turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. It is so significant to have a positive mindset, more especially under these circumstances. So this network has the potential to completely revolutionize every aspect of your life and career. I am Dr. Riel Ngunene, and I'm going to be your host for today. So if you're watching us online, please feel free to put in the chat box where you're watching us from and what you hope to achieve from our podcast. Today, we are surrounded by greatness in the World Wide Web. We have amazing speakers who's going to share some nuggets on what's holding you back. Share more nuggets on identifying those limiting beliefs that you might have. So in Cochrane, Alberta, we have Christine Campbell-Rapin. And in Cleveland, Ohio, we have Hazel Rivera. And I know most of our speakers will be joining shortly. So at this moment, I'm just going to let our speakers to introduce themselves. So you can go ahead, Christine.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody from all around the world. I am Christine, as I was introduced, and I am a business mentor. I am somebody who helps people breathe life into their business dreams and figure out how to create repeatable success. And I'm really excited to contribute to today's conversation.
Oh, wow. It's an honor to have you, Christine. And yes, I am really looking forward to hear more of your message today. And thank you for saying yes.
Thank you.
You can go ahead, Hazel, and please introduce yourself.
Okay, thank you. I had a little slight internet glitch, so I was like, what did I miss? But I came back right on time. So thanks, first of all, Dr. Riel, for inviting me to your platform and sharing your audience with me. It's my pleasure to be here. My name is Hazel Rivera. I am a transformational lifestyle coach. I'm also an image stylist, and I am a mentor and consultant in the realm of etiquette. So that's pretty much what I do.
Oh, wow. Wow. You wear different hats. And really, I'm looking forward to hear more of your message. Thank you for being with us, Hazel. So, Christine, I have a question for you. If you happen to have your own billboard, I can see a billboard coming down there in the busy highway in Alberta. What will your billboard say?
It tells you that business growth can be elegantly simple. It will never be effortless.
Wow. Business growth is what?
Elegantly simple.
Wow, elegantly simple. Business growth is elegantly simple. It cannot be what?
Effortless.
Wow. Wow. What a profound billboard. So anyone can really do it. Business growth, everyone has to grow their business. And yes, you're going to be sharing around that aspect of growing your business. And yes, I believe our audience, they will be inspired from your message. What a profound billboard. Wow. 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 How about you? How about you, Hazel? Maybe your billboard is already down there in Ohio. You may never know. What will your billboard say?
If it isn't, it should be. So I like the idea of billboards, and my billboard would say, look up higher than your eyes can see. Now get up.
Look up higher than your eyes can see. Now can get up. You know, there is Les Brown always say that if you happen to fall, fall on your back so that if you can look up, you can always get up. So it kind of connect with that. Wow, wow. Look up, look up beyond what?
Look up higher than your eyes can see. Now get up.
Look up higher beyond what your eyes can see and now get up. It's possible. It's possible. I love both billboards, by the way. So I believe my billboard will be that billboard driving down the highway, and it's going to say what? The sky is no longer the limit, but now the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. And it's definitely coming. So we're going to get started. We have Christine Campbell-Rapin. Christine Campbell-Rapin is an energetic, tell it like it is business advisor, mentor, consultant, speaker, and a 3 times international best-selling author. She has supported over not 100, not 200, but 400 companies to create a combined revenue more than $1 billion, and believes business growth can be elegantly simple when you focus on the 3 non-negotiable business foundations that build a client growth engine. So kings and queens, please join me and welcome Christine Campbell-Rapin.
Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity to come and share. And I want everyone to know, like, it wasn't like I got up one day and decided to be all of this. Truthfully, you know, the life I was leading was I was clear I was playing in the world of business. And I knew at some point I would want to build something and to cast big ripples. And yet I did not get out of bed on Wednesday to go start a business. But it was somebody that I had met 10 years earlier in my life who reached out with a message on LinkedIn and said, I'd like to have a conversation with you. And I said, I am so curious that you would remember my name that I want to take that call. And this was not somebody I was social with. This was an office colleague. I'd never spent time outside the office with her, but 10 years ago, I left this really indelible impression that she said, I knew you wanted to create a business. And it was sort of a mind-blowing moment because truthfully, I didn't realize 10 years ago I was giving off that idea. And I took the call and she told me about the way I could start building something. And over the next 48 hours, I could hear myself justifying why not to say yes. I was getting married for the first time. So I was busy in wedding planning. I was going to be becoming a bonus mom to 2 teenage girls and a dog as part of this new partnership I was embarking upon. I had a new job, I traveled a lot, and I could give you a million reasons that saying no made sense. And I was looking at myself in the mirror, brushing my teeth on Friday. And I could hear myself saying, I don't have the money. I don't have the time. I don't have the capacity. And I looked at myself in that moment and thought, who are you? Do I want to be the person that exits my dreams? Or do I want to be the person that will always bet on myself? And I knew in a heartbeat the right answer to that was, I will always bet on myself. And so in a heartbeat, I sent a WhatsApp message and said, I'm in. I don't know what this will mean. I'm going to figure it out, but I do not want to be the person who does. I left brushing my teeth in the bathroom. I went down to the kitchen and my then fiance was making coffee at a business. And he's like, I'm sorry, what? Like, I literally just left you brushing your teeth in the bathroom and you've made a major life decision and we're about to be married. We should probably have a conversation about things like that. And I'll be honest, I was 40, getting married for the first time. It never occurred to me to make a big decision like that because somebody else gave me permission. And I said, well, this is what I've done and I need to do this for me. And I want you to hear that. Every big moment of creating impact comes when you decide that you're doing it for you because you're in service to the message you need to get out into the world. And so I said yes. And he said, okay, what does that mean? I said, I will start building my business 1 hour a day. On top of all the other commitments, I need 1 hour to do something that's really important for who I am, how I show up in the world, and the impact I can make. And he said, okay, you have that support from us. Let us know what you need. And 5 years later, I have a very global business. And I want to tell you that business growth can be elegantly simple. I didn't set out to mentor, but when I built that business 1 hour a day, I had a lot of invitations for coffee. I had a lot of invitations for glasses of wine, depending on how you know me. And they said, why are you able to build a business 1 hour a day when I am dedicating 6 to 12 hours a day and I'm not seeing results? And it comes down to this. First piece of the puzzle. Two things predict your impact when it comes to building a business, just two. So do these two things at the exclusion of every other distraction you are choosing to let guide you. The first piece of the puzzle, nobody will tell you this, but it's so true. Your business will be built on strangers. So it is up to you to go make friends with strangers. More people, more ways, more often is going to be the lifeblood of a path to success. And truthfully, you may not have all the support you want inside your family dynamic, and that does not mean you need their permission to do this. Strangers will support you. Strangers will take you as you are and believe what you tell them, because truth is inherently given until proven otherwise. It's just the way we work as humans. We connect to other people. So you have to recognize that you must build influence. And it starts with influence of self. But strangers are the key to your pathway. And there will be people along the way to find you, guide you, connect you, inspire you, and spark you. But you are always going to be the person who lights the flame. Everybody else around you is just a fuel source. Second P thing you need to know that influence will indicate the health of your business idea is, do you make offers to help other people? Because it is up to you to lead the offer. People, when they are seeking help, are scared. They're nervous. They're Googling, Pinteresting, YouTubing, TikToking, Instagramming, trying to find answers. And the question is, can they find you? It is up to you to get visible and be a light in that darkness. And have the leadership to say, if this is the results you desire, and I in good integrity know how to deliver that, create it repeatedly, I must make the invitation. And so people think business is super complicated and it requires a website and it requires complication and it requires lots of money and it requires. Don't believe the hype. 400 customers I've helped, from everything from mom and pop solopreneurs to the biggest companies on the planet. Two things predict your revenue. If you do not have the business you want right now, it comes down to one of three reasons. Here's the good news. All three of these are solvable. So my invitation today for you to rise to new heights is to solve these. Number one, you say, I don't know how. I don't know how to do this. And I will tell you, because I'm a straight shooter, Dr. Rael told you that, how is the laziest excuse you have? Because how is a knowledge question? And there's never been a time and space in history when knowledge is so easily accessible. If you want to know how to grow a business, I'm going to tell you how. Come talk to me. I will show you. Second reason you don't have the business you want is because you do believe you know the how and you have had some success in your life. Success is a repeating pattern. So you think you can't repeat it, but that is a mindset issue. It's not a truth. But you are a smart, capable person who's created success at least in one area of your life. If you don't know what to change to create more success, faster success, more predictable success, more profitable success, you are standing in a dark blind spot because you cannot see your own reflection. It's like you can't see your own ears. Doesn't mean they're not there. You need somebody to show you your blind spot. And I will say the best way to do that is to work with a mentor who has your heart, who has your best interest at the table and says, do your actions move you closer to your goal or further away? And just be the reflection in the mirror for you and invite you to change the inputs you're doing. And you will automatically change the outcomes. It's just science. The third reason you have the business that you don't get success is, truthfully, you are in your own way. How many of us have ever been in our own way? Like, seriously, we are in our own way all the time. But here's the kicker. If you want to build a business, it is not up to anybody but you to initiate the spark. I said, you are the spark. If you can dream it, there is a way to achieve it. And you will not achieve it on your own. There are going to be strangers. There are going to be people like us, conversations like today that are going to move you to the next piece of the puzzle. My invitation is move. Because when people say, I just don't do the things I know I should do, my answer is black and white. You don't want that. Because if you wanted it, it's non-negotiable. You take action. Because here's the other truth. Building a business is not about doing what you want. Building a business is about doing what is required to build a business. So you need to fall in love, not with the luxury you think you'll create, but with the luxury of the choice of the habits that create the life you want. So I've shared with you two things already, and I'm going to give you one final nugget. Number one, two things predict your revenue. They're the health check of your business. If you do not have the business you want, you're on life support. Get oxygen. Get help. Strangers are key. You must lead the offer, and it's up to you to decide today what action will you take, because if you can see it, you can achieve it. My invitation is move. Business, every business on the planet has 5 foundations. You get to choose how you play, and business should feel like play. I always tell my clients when they come into my space, does your business feel like oxygen? It's not your only oxygen source, but it should feel light bringing to you because it should be what you are choosing. You must know who your buyer is. You must know where to meet them in the dark. You have to move them from curious to paid client. You have to create a result and be seen as the must-hire choice. You need to lead yourself every day, your clients to the result, and to your advocates to opening new doors of opportunity. And business is math. Don't believe the hype that it is all about volume, though. One conversation to one person with the right offer, with the right human connection, changes everything. So do you show up today? I hope the answer is yes. Connect to another human. It is the simplest way to grow a business. And I started by saying that business growth can be elegantly simple. I've just shown you how to build a $1 billion business in 10 minutes. I also told you it will not be effortless. So focus on the effort that creates the ripples and say no to everything else. Because the complexity that you're drowning in is a choice you are making. One conversation to one person can create one ripple. It's easier than you think. Thank you for having me today.
Oh, Christine, just drop the mic. Just drop the mic. Yes, business growth, it can be elegantly simple. The way you've just shared the 3 non-negotiable business foundations. And I believe our audience really, they've been inspired. They were taking notes from this, or they will go back and watch the replay because they need this. I just love the way you've mentioned that strangers are your key to your pathway in building that business. Strangers are the ones who's going to take you further in that business than the network that you believe it can help you. But strangers, the moment you start talking about your business, they're the ones who are going to do the referrals. They're the ones who's going to support you. Strangers. Wow. What a profound, much needed message. Thank you so much, Christine, for sharing such a profound message. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. And I will say one final comment, and it is the biggest fear we have as adults is I don't know how to make friends with strangers. Like I see every social media groups, the reason we have them is because we wanted to be social. I mean, we've kind of forgotten that, truthfully, but that is the original reason we had social media, was to social with other people. The interesting thing is we're all going, how do I make friends with strangers? And I said, all you need to do is be curious.
Wow. Woo. Yes, we always tell our kids don't talk to strangers, but they will ask you, "Mommy, you just took an Uber to that place. Was that not a stranger?" And then you ask yourself, yeah, wow, what a profound message. And yeah, we should go out there and network, get familiar with events around us in order for us to build that business. Thank you so much, Christine.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go back and watch the replay. Yeah, this was mind blowing. And now we are moving. We have Ambassador Dr. Naftina L. Serrano. I hope I didn't butcher it. So, Dr. Naftina Serrano is a United Nations Ambassador for Peace. She is the first African American legacy queen in Women of Achievement U.S. National Ambassador Queen 2022 and African Women Health Project International Director for the Philadelphia Tri-State Global Chapter, PTGC. So Dr. Serrano is the chief publisher of Serrano Legacy Publishing Corporation, where she ensures that authors are empowered by publishing compelling stories, establishing a lasting literacy legacy in a spirit of integrity, excellence, and love. Dr. Serrano is an international transformational coach, transformational speaker, determined, committed influencer, and a thought leader who is changing the game and making a difference in the lives of women, girls, and couples globally. She is married to His Excellency Minister Dr. Richard Serrano for over not 10 years, not 20 years, but 35 years with one bonus daughter, Brenda Serrano. So Dr. Naftina Serrano is an award-winning, 10 times best-selling author who co-authored and published the book, The Marriage Corporation, which highlights the organizational needs of a covenant marriage. She is editor-in-chief of Marriage CEO magazine for the entrepreneur who leads building a legacy. She has a doctorate of philosophy in business administration, an honorary doctorate in humanitarian, a certified business and entrepreneurship coach, a certified counselor, and a member of the National Biblical Counseling Association, NBCA. She's also a certified marriage and relationship life coach, licensed and ordained evangelist, and a mentor. She has mentored young women and girls within and outside her community. So Dr. Serrano has received countless awards and certificates honoring and acknowledging her humanitarian contribution nationally and globally. She's also the recipient of the prestigious award, President's Legacy Lifetime Achievement Award, signed by the 44th President Barack Obama, and the Lifetime Achievement Award 2022 and 2021, signed by President Joe Biden. Her vision is to build a 72-hour overnight care oasis for a couple or family in crisis. Dr. Serrano's motto is save a marriage, save a community. So kings and queens, please join me and welcome Ambassador Dr. Naftina L. Serrano.
Wow. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Good morning to each and every one of you. Thank you so much. This is such an honor and a privilege to just be able to be here with you today in more ways than one. And I'll tell you a little bit why. But just to hear Christine, it was so great hearing you. I was glad I was able to make it in the room when you were able to go over your points, and I can grab some nuggets for myself. You know, one of the things that Dr. Real said, in terms of understanding that what we impact the world with will be received mainly by strangers, and understanding that, you know, even Christ himself was not received by his own locals, within his own community, within his own family, right? His own tribe did not receive him. And so we have to understand that we cannot look to our left and our right and think that they're going to be the ones that are going to be receiving what we have to impact in the earth. Because many times, unfortunately, people get in their own way when they're closest to you. And sometimes, familiarity breeds contempt. And so sometimes we're held in contempt of our own selves for not being able to receive or not allowing ourselves the ability to receive from those that are right there in our own circle that can influence us, that have what it takes to influence us. But we, our own human abilities, just will not allow it to be so. It's sad, but it's true. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I never had anyone to say it in that particular way, but it certainly brought it really home for me. And more so right now where I am in this point. So greetings to you, Hazel, and greetings to everyone on the panel today and those that will be watching the replay. I am Ambassador Dr. Nefertina Serrano. Those are just titles, but I am a servant. That is the greatest title you can ever have. It's the only one that I really appreciate the most because, that is the one that I want to be able to carry and get that well done right at the end of the day. But for now, I accept it because the titles tell a story. So it's okay to have a title. It doesn't always make up exactly who you are, but it does show the journey that you've embarked upon your life. And so I thank God for the titles because I've done the work. I've put in the time. I've labored. And so with that, it allows me to be able to show up more readily for the people that I have been called to impact. So thank you so much. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about legacy. Legacy. What is our legacy? What is the legacy that we want to leave? A lot of people think that legacy is more about the monetary gifts and the tangible things that we leave our loved ones. But no, I beg to differ. Legacy is about you. It's about how you are showing up in the earth, how you are bringing impact. What will they say at the end of the day? Do you realize that you and I can draw the narrative for that? And that we don't have to just sit back and allow everyone else to talk about who we are. It's time that we share our own stories. It's time that we show it for ourselves. And it's time that we build the legacy by making the impact, reaching and teaching and meeting the people right where they are through the life that we live here in the earth. That is the greatest impact that we will ever be able to truly, truly make. And so I just, I want to start with that. I'm going to give you 7 strategies to building your legacy. We just learned how to get the wealth. Now, what you're going to do with it when you're not here any longer? How is it going to be distributed? And who's going to receive that? And again, what are they going to say about you? So the first secret we want to talk about today is getting clear on the man or the woman in the mirror, because you are the one that make the impact in this world. And until you are clear on who you are, on whose you are, and on why you are, then you will not make the appropriate impact that you're supposed to leave in the earth. Because remember, your first name is for you and your last name is for others. So what are they going to say about the Serranos, about the Rappins, about the Riveras, right? What are they going to say about you when you're no longer here? It is important that we understand and recognize how we show up, and it's important that we're intentional, leaving a personal legacy for the next generation. We need to make sure that we're showing up for this generation, the one that is coming behind us. Because, I don't know about you ladies, but I am halfway gone, right? I'm halfway through this journey, and I am hoping that I can get another 50 on top of what I already have. And so with that being said, a good man leaves an inheritance, or woman, for her family, for her children and her children's children. This verse keeps our life good. It's a vision of legacy and front and center. And when we're choosing how to use our money today, we have to make sure that we have a relationship with the dollar, the cent, the euros, or whatever your money is where you are in this world. Make sure that you have a relationship with that money. Don't just earn it and use it, but what is it doing for you? How is it making sense? It's important that we know that. So first, showing up for you is very, very important, because how you show up for you is going to determine ultimately how you're going to show up for others. Sharon Edler says it this way: carve your name on hearts, not tombstones, because a legacy is etched into the minds of others and the stories they share about you. About you. So I love the fact that, I was honestly just kind of called into being a publisher for the magazine. It was something that during the pandemic that I believe God downloaded to me, that this was part of my work. My family, part of our history is that we are a family of believers. And so many of us are licensed and ordained either ministers, pastors, teachers, bishops, apostles. The list goes on. The fivefold ministry is covered in my family. And so with that being spoken, it is one of those things where, I don't want to just be defined as a Montgomery. I don't want it, which is my maiden name. I don't want to just be defined as a Serrano. I want to make sure that I am sharing and toning and fine tuning the narrative on what you're going to know who I am. So yeah, we want to share our lives on the hearts and the minds of the people. Number 2, begin building your legacy today. Today. Did I say today? Today, not tomorrow, because tomorrow is not promised, and our days here are truly numbered. I just told you that my latter may not be as many as my former, but I'm still holding out that, I might just meet that number. So you guys be praying for me, okay? We must start now. As we have been seen in the most recent years here with the pandemic, time waits for no one. No, it does not. It is ticking while we're speaking. A start to a family tree. Begin now by writing out those traditions so that your family don't lose sight of your ties that bond, the things that you hold dear to you, your heart, right? Make sure that you're sharing that. What words of wisdom, what recipe or experience do you want to share that many, and listen, you're encouraging them, you're uplifting them in this hour, but what can you do after you're no longer here? It's really important that we understand that. So just remember, number 2 is building your legacy. So I like this quote. It says, the great use of life is to spend it for something that will outlast it. The great use of life is to spend it for something that will outlast it. That was by William James. And so just understand that, you don't want to just have that recipe in your head, because I remember when my great-grandmama passed, my great-grandmother, I had the opportunity to live in this lifetime with her. And she used to make the best biscuits. Guess who don't know how to make those biscuits? I can cook. And I mean, I can burn, honey. And not literally and figuratively, but I'm saying the food is one of those, that's one of my strong points. That's one of my giftings. I believe it's a talent. I love to cook, and I love to cook all types of food, from American to Chinese to Spanish. And my husband loves it too. After 35 years, I think he's grown very accustomed to my cooking, because he does not like to go out to restaurants. Hello, somebody. And so we need to make sure that we're leaving those things in this earth. Number 3, seek opportunities to serve others, and not just on how to be successful and how to build enough stream of income and how to, we can do that all day long. But what about serving others? What about that impact of legacy that we want to leave? Part of our purpose in this earth is to serve one another, just like we're doing here today, serving to help build up others and remembering that you matter in the scheme of things. I want to say this: loving you more does not mean you have to love others less. You have to be true to you. You have to also be self-serving, in a sense that you are making sure that, yes, you're dishing it out, but make sure that you're serving yourself. Make sure that you're not leaving you last. See, the word of God says it this way: love your neighbor as yourself. Well, how can you love your neighbor if you're not loving yourself? If you're not caring for you? If you're not spending time to love you more, then that means you are loving you less. And we don't want to do that. So seek opportunities to serve others, but just remember, in serving others, it doesn't mean that you have to serve you less. Your story is the greatest legacy that you will leave to your friends, to your family, to your neighbors, to your coworkers. Do you share your stories with your coworkers? For those of us that are still in the workplace, I do. I try to, as I'm led and as I encounter people and have the opportunity, whether in the break room and sometimes, I hate to say it, in the bathroom. It's always a meeting in the ladies' room, right, ladies? And so the longest lasting legacy that we're going to leave is to share our story. That's what we want to make sure that we're telling people. Number 4, get to know ways to make a difference in this life and in the world, just to simply make it a better place, because none of us are perfect. And oftentimes we meet failures along life's journeys. However, we don't allow those failures to get in the way of our success. No, we fall down, but we get back up. We rise up from the ashes of tragedy, from the ashes of hurt, from the ashes of bitterness, from the ashes of being talked about, scorned, walked over. We rise up from all of it. Why? Because we're ladies. We're women. We know how to rise. We know we are multi-talented, most of us, and we know how to juggle more than one thing at one time. Very few of us are those women that compartmentalize every little thing in order to get a task done. Maybe we should be more like that. I don't know. But what I do know is that in order to get to know ways to make a difference in this life, we are going to meet some failures. But guess what? Don't get stuck. Don't get complacent. Don't let it wipe you out. You make that your pillar upon success, that you continue to rise up from the ashes and move forward. As I'm nearing my time, I want to make sure that you are leaving a legacy, not just for people, but it's something that you are leaving in people. Peter Stroppel said that. Make sure that you're leaving it in people. Number 5, develop your skills. Find 2 to 3 things that you're good at and explore them. Explore them. Why not? We don't have to get stuck or allow people to put us into a box. Yes, I am Nefertiti. Yes, I am an ambassador. But people, when my husband and I gained the title, the marriage CEOs, because we liken ourselves as midwives to couples, people wanted to box me into that. And I'm like you, Christine. My husband said, honey, I need to have a talk with you. I said, okay. We schedule sometimes our meeting at the table. And he said, and I said, what's up, babe? What do we want? What are we going to be discussing? It's time. It's time for you to move forward. It's time for you to go and do all that God has called you to do. That's not going to leave me out. It's okay. And honestly, I still get a little choked up about that because my husband is my best friend. And we journeyed this life together. And the reason why that's really taken me at heart is because just 2 weeks prior, I literally did not have, I was told that I had a blood clot on my lung. And I didn't have to be here today with you, but I'm here. I'm here with you because God, number 1, ordained it to be so. And my husband stood by me. And that to me means so much. And now I understand what he meant when he said, it's your time to move forward. It's your time to go. It's your time to make impact in the earth. The ladies, you're talking to them hours at a time. They need you. They need you. People are waiting for you. And so I'm going to move this further and I'm going to go ahead and move on. I have 2 more points, but because I have an amazing gift to give to you today, you will not miss out on those points. All right. I'm going to move on because I want to stop in that stance to say life is worth living. Live it to its fullest by being present, by living in this moment, because yesterday is gone and the next breath is not promised to any of us. So while you're thinking on building your legacy, make sure that you are loving you more, and it doesn't mean that you're loving anyone else less. I'm Ambassador Dr. Nefertina Serrano. I appreciate this moment in time, and I honor each and every one of you. Please make sure that you receive my gift. My gift for you is this topic in layout form. It's going to be the 7 strategies to building legacy as a journal booklet that you can print out. And all you need to go is go to my website at www.drnefertina, Nephetina, Serrano, Serrano.com. All one word, Dr. Nefertina Serrano. And you will receive that gift. And I pray that you not only look at it, but you print it out and you use it so that you can continue to build your legacy. Thank you.
Wow, wow, Dr. Serrano. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I should be the first one to go out there and get that copy because I need this. You've shared all the 7 strategies to build a legacy. You've mentioned that you'll have to be clear, about the person who is right in front of the mirror. What impact do you want to bring to the world? What kind of difference do you want to make in this world? The moment you are clear about that, then you can begin to build your legacy. And you've mentioned that we should seek opportunities to serve others. Yes, serving others, it's that by serving yourself. It doesn't mean that you're selfish by serving yourself, because as my everyday book says, that you'll have to love your neighbor the way you love yourself. So serve yourself first, and then you're gonna be able to serve that neighbor. You're gonna be able to serve your family, and you've mentioned that we'll have to find ways to make a difference in this world. We'll have to develop our skills because life is worth a living. Wow, what a profound message. Thank you so much, Dr. Serrano. And I'm going to go back and watch the replay again because I want to hear this over and over again. So thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us. Thank you so much. So now from Dr. Serrano, we have Hazel Rivera. Hazel Rivera is the founder and chief elegance officer of the Essential Image and Etiquette Institute and the Essential Lifestyle Woman. She is a transformational lifestyle coach, image stylist, and etiquette consultant. She provides programs and services to women and mentorship to young ladies that empower, build confidence, and develop leadership skills that last a lifetime. So, kings and queens, please join me and welcome Hazel Rivera.
Well, thank you so very much for, again, inviting me to your platform. I'm actually like blown away by the ladies that I'm sharing the stage with because you're so accomplished and you're so doing great things in the world. So it's a pleasure to be on this platform with you. I just wanted to bring you a brief message about what's holding you back, because when I think about that question, we can come up with a lot of reasons, a lot of excuses for what's holding us back. But when I thought about the question, I thought about 6 key things that hold most people back and 7 key things that lead to 6 things that lead to their transformation. So the first point is people are generally unable to recognize their identity. Identity is everything, everything, everything. So when it becomes your focus, we are not our degrees, our education, our roles, our titles. We're not even our personality. Those things make up your identity, but it's really not your identity. It's not even your persona. And so when you think about identity, what does that really mean to you? Who are you really? If you would just like pull back the layers, spend some time with yourself, dive down deep into your gifts, your strengths, your talents. Those things make up your identity. Your persona makes up your identity. Your personality makes up your identity. But your identity is who you are at the very core. It's what you were created by God to do in the earth. And so it doesn't leave you. It follows you wherever you go. but your identity can evolve, but it probably will not change very much. I doubt in the scheme of things when God created us, he said, I'm going to make her for this purpose and then change his mind later. It doesn't work like that. So it's kind of our responsibility to find out who we really are and to walk in the truth of our authentic selves. And sometimes, because the way the world is set up, it gets a little muddy. It gets a little confusing. Sometimes people are telling you what you should and should not be doing. And it takes you away from your passion. It takes you away from your core values. And so if you look at the core values, that's where you'll find your identity. So that's key number one. Point number two, many people are stuck in the past. Many people are stuck in the past because it's such an emotional place for them that they can't let it go. So, what I'm going to offer you is, first of all, don't get stuck in the past because the past is over. There's no time machine. You cannot go back and redo it. But I will tell you something that a wise woman said to me once. She said, retracing your steps is not the same thing as going back the way that you came. And so there's a distinctive difference. You can retrace your steps, just like when a plane crashes and they go and they gather all the pieces of the plane because they want to see where the wheels fell off and what was the cause. We can do the same thing. It's kind of like a triage scenario. When you, let's say you woke up in a hospital from a coma. So the first thing that they ask you, three main questions. The first question they ask is, can you tell us your name? So that's your identity. The second question they ask is, do you remember what happened? And so when dealing with the past, it's okay to remember what happened. Just don't get stuck there. So you kind of look at it, you kind of analyze it. You got to do a lot of thoughts because we all have traumas, we all have triggers. And so, how do you transform through the traumas and the triggers? So, you have to deal with the past. So, whatever that looks like for you, maybe you have a counselor, or you have a minister that you talk to, or you have a coach, or you have a mentor, or maybe you might need a therapist. Do whatever you need to do to process those traumas and those triggers so that you can be free from your past and let it go so that you are free to move forward. So that's part of a big transformation. Number two, what's holding you back? Point number three is isolation. And I think both of the ladies touched on, find your tribe, find the people who are like-minded. If you think about it, crabs in a barrel, everybody's trying to get out of the barrel and they're pulling you down. You know, eagles don't soar, they don't run with turkeys, right? Eagles fly, turkeys run. And so that's a difference that could be holding you back. But then you put yourself into isolation and now you're not dealing with anyone. And so now you're not good for anyone because, first of all, your gifts have nowhere to go because you're just holding them. You're not sharing them, which was part of your identity and what you were purposed to do. And then you are just stuck and not asking for help. And so you got to be able to ask for help. Help is available. It's at your fingertips. We're in the information age, so there's no excuse not to find anything. But there are great books out there. There's mentors and people that you can talk to. So there's no reason to be in isolation dealing with the things that hold you back. And so you have to break free from isolation in order to transform. Point number four, you might have a fixed mindset. Now, there's a lot of talk about mindset. I don't particularly like that word mindset because at the end it says set. And so we never want to be set. But if you just kind of break it down, you'll start off, maybe you have some limiting beliefs, that's a fixed mindset. And then once you start to get help and you start to learn some things and you start to apply some things, your mind starts to open up. And now you're moving from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. Well, I'm going to challenge you to mind style instead. And so what I mean by that is doing the work, doing the deep mental work, shoring up your emotions so that because they work together. You don't have emotions without thoughts. And so you have to really be mindful of the thoughts that you're thinking and the feelings that you're feeling. And so that's how you begin to style your mind as part of your transformation. You're going to do some editing, you're going to do some watching, you're going to do some journaling, you're going to do whatever it takes to dig down deep into your mind to see how it's functioning. And then you just move forward accordingly, maybe with some help. You might be able to do it on your own, but then that might put you in a state of isolation again. So you really want to get someone that can help you pull those things out, and good therapist is good for that. Point number 5, you might have a poor self-image, and that's like so important. It's just as important as your identity. And so I'm going to say refine your image, because we all, we all have flaws. We look in the mirror, sometimes we don't like what we see. We're aging, things are happening to our bodies. We may not have a killer wardrobe, but image refinement is really about how you show up. And so all of these keys to transformation is about how you're showing up mentally, how you're showing up in your identity, how you're showing up dealing with your traumas and all of those things. And so image is really the outer work, that once you do the inner work of the 4 points that I mentioned earlier, now you're ready to start like dressing it up. And so this is where image stylists can come in. So if you don't have one, you might need one. I always tell my clients, Barbie was my first client. She was my first client. My Barbie had the killer wardrobe, and she was the envy of the neighborhood because I was doing my thing. And so you want to refine your image, but it's more than clothes. It's more than hair and nails and all the things that we can put on our bodies. It's really about how you show up, how you're speaking, what your posture, your body language, those types of things. And so we can refine that. There's help for that. There's books for that. There's lots of resources that you can tap into. But what do you want to look like? How do you want to present yourself? So it really goes back to the mind work of how this is who I am. This is how I want to show up. And so image refinement is very important for that transformation journey. And my last point, one of the major things, it probably should have been my first point, but I really like to end at this with the dishonor. Dishonor is the major reason why so many are held back. So many of us do not understand the principles of honor. Those of us who are believers, who listen to God, who read the word of God, who walk in circles among other people who are like-minded, we have it's a code of honor. And so God does everything centered around honor. And so it's like, okay, well, we talk about honor. We don't talk about it that much. We don't talk about etiquette as much either, but they go hand in hand, because honor is the inner part. You show up as an honorable person. You carry yourself as an honorable person. You live your lifestyle as an honorable person. Well, we know that what you put in the universe comes back to you. So if you put out honor, honor is what will come back to you, and that's God's principle. So it's a done deal. However, if you live a life in dishonor, and so how do we dishonor ourselves? How does dishonor hold us back? We may not be appreciative of the people that's in our inner circle. We may not be appreciative of the people that we encounter. We may not be appreciative of who we are as a person, because you can dishonor your body. You can dishonor your mind. You can dishonor yourself in not taking good care of yourself. So self-care is one of those transformative rituals that will kind of bring you out of that type of dishonor. But you have to look at, like I said, what you put out is what you get back. And so if you want to live a life of honor, then you do the things that are honorable. So I'll tell you a quick story. When I was 50 years old, my parents got sick and my first business kind of shut down briefly. Well, I thought it was going to be briefly, but what I didn't realize was it was for a purpose. when the business shut down, I had to pack up my house, 4-bedroom house, put it in storage, and move in with my parents. I thought it was going to be temporarily. But when I got here, what I realized was they were in trouble. And the reason why they were in trouble is because they were sick and they were basically dying. And they didn't tell me how bad things were. But once I moved in with them, you could see everything. And I didn't want to be there. I was 50 years old. My children were getting ready to get out of high school, all the things. I'm thinking, I got this business. It was going great. And suddenly it dried up. And I think it dried up for a reason because otherwise I would not have returned home. So in returning home, and now I'm caregiver to my parents and not wanting to be there, I came in a very dishonorable frame of mind. I was resentful, I was angry, and I was disappointed because I was ready to move forward with my life. And what that taught me to see my parents to the end of their life was a new level of honor. In America, we don't honor our parents or our elders as much as other cultures do. And so, not to really be in that frame of mind, of course, I love them. Of course, I would take care of them, but I was resentful. And until I resolved the issues that I was thinking and how I was feeling, I was not able to serve them. But then it didn't take me long. About 3 months in, I was tired of pouting and I kind of rolled up my sleeves and I said, okay, God, what? What am I missing? And he said, honor them. And I was like, oh, yeah, of course. And then I actually began to do that. And from that point, my life began to improve. So I'm saying all of that to say, you have to find a place of honor to leave dishonor. Dishonor will definitely hold you back. So, one of the things that was said, I think by both of the ladies, is put yourself first. And it's not a dishonor to put yourself first because, like they say in the airline industry, put your own oxygen mask on first before you try to help someone. And so, all the things that's holding you back and all the things that you have to do to transform your life is you putting on your oxygen mask first. And so, it's the getting back to the authentic person that you are, walking through all the values that are important to you, putting that oxygen mask on, looking at yourself and doing the self-care that you need so that you are fortified to do the things that you were called to as your authentic self. So I have one last point, and I'll leave you with this. What I encourage you to do is work on one thing at a time and work on it until you master it. And then you will be able to become a new you. So that's it.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow, Hazel. Wow. Wow. What a profound message. You know, I've never viewed on limiting beliefs the way you've just shared what's holding you back. You've mentioned that you'll have to recognize your identity. Once you know who you are and where you are headed, you're not gonna be a prisoner of your past. You have to don't get stuck on your past because you know what? You're a pioneer for your own future. You're no longer a prisoner of your past. Whatsoever happened in the past, yes, it happened to bring the very same person who you are today, but you are headed to a brighter future. You also mentioned that don't isolate. That's gonna hold you back. Try like if maybe the cycle that you're with it didn't work out for you, try a different cycle that's going to work for you. Someone who's going to hold you accountable for your own actions. Try that cycle. You need that accountability partner in life. And you've mentioned that we should honor. It's not only like honoring our parents, just honor the situation as is. Honor. I just love that. And lastly, you mentioned that I can't remember the last point because I was just taking notes, but your points really were profound and they kind of give you an idea on what I can do next because this has been holding me back for the past 6 months, for the past 6 weeks, for the past 6 years. So what can I do next? Thank you so much, Hazel, for sharing such a profound, much needed message. Thank you. So to our viewers online, please feel free if you happen to have any questions for Christian, for Dr. Serrano, or for Hazel, please drop the questions in the chat box and we're going to be able to attend to your questions at the end of the podcast. If you have any questions or any suggestions, please just feel free to drop them in the chat box. We're going to be able to attend to your questions at the end of the podcast. So it's not going to be a show without me showing up and showing off. So I'm going to be the next and final speaker. But before I speak, what I'm going to do, I'm going to share. Let me share my bio with you, and then I will come back and speak. So please do enjoy. I want you, as you think about your dreams and goals, to put this down. Rise to greater heights. Rise to greater heights, because you need to be clear about your career goals in order for you to gain guidance on professional development. Really, my goal as a mentor or as a coach is so simple. My goal is to study your current situation, identify limiting beliefs and other potential obstacles that you might be facing, and then design a plan of inspired action to empower you to pursue success and drive sustainable. I think whosoever said that the sky is the limit was wrong. From today on, I, Dr. Riel and Kunene, believe that the sky is our point of view. Mom. So I think whosoever said that the sky is the limit was wrong. From today on, I, Dr. Riel and Kunene, believe that the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Rise to greater heights.
Dr. Nampumelelo Rial Kunene is an international human rights policy analyst who consults on policies and procedures related to human rights compliance. She is a highly sought-after, energetic, certified Lace Brown international speaker. This passionate leader holds a PhD with a discipline in leadership and business. Dr. Rial N. Kunene is the author and host to Rise to Greater Heights, a book and YouTube channel to turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. She is also a coach, mentor, and an MC, well known for encouraging many to rise from mediocrity into greatness. Her vision is not only to motivate, but also to empower audiences with a fresh perspective inspiration they require to pursue success and drive sustainable outcomes. In a seriously funny way, Dr. Kunene is an award-winning author, 10 times #1 Amazon and international best-selling author. Her #1 best-selling book, Rise to Greater Heights, has inspired and empowered many to pursue their personal and professional passion to become go-getters. As a trainer, diplomacy protocol officer, and strategist, Rial believes that we are in full control of our choices. Her mission is to meet the needs and transform lives of her clients and her audience. She is also a true advocate for creating new policies that uphold human rights and prevent human rights violations. Dr. Kunene's purpose is to teach everyone about human rights and help organizations understand and promote human rights. Her goal is to study your current situation, identify limiting beliefs, then design a plan of inspired action to empower you to achieve specific outcomes in your life. This change maker, trailblazer, and revolutionary is pushing boundaries and creating a real change worldwide. Like a phoenix that never accepted defeat and rose from its own ashes, she wants to challenge you to unleash your greatness and rise to greater heights. Dr. Rial N. Kunene wears many hats. As a professional certified sales manager, CEO, certified travel counselor, publisher, medical esthetician, philanthropist, and a commissioner for oaths, following her dreams gave her purpose to see her goals through and understand that she does have everything she needs to reach her full potential. Her everyday message is that your journey to be a better person starts with you. So knowing who you are to your core will make you understand that you are the only one who can accomplish your dreams. Hebrews 11, Psalms 27 and 40 keeps her to rise to greater heights. The sky is no longer the limit, but now the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Kings and queens, please join me. Welcome, Dr. Rial N. Kunene.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. Amazing speakers. Following all of you, you've just set the bar high for me. I'm like, what else is left that I'm going to share today? Because you've shared all the nuggets on how you can actually unleash that greatness within you. Christine, she mentioned everything on how you can grow your business. She mentioned that strangers are your key to your pathway in building your business, because business growth can be elegantly simple when you focus on the non-negotiable business foundations that he has shared. And then Dr. Serrano on the other side, she shared everything on how you can actually start today to build your own legacy. She mentioned that you'll have to get clear on the person that you see in the mirror and what impact you want to bring into the world. Then begin to build your legacy today. But once you are done building that legacy, you'll have to seek opportunities to serve others. And then on the other side, Hazel, she was like, you know what? It's high time you recognize your identity, know who you are, know yourself well. You know what? If you can, please write this down. Follow your passion. Follow your passion. As you're trying to identify what's holding you back, I'm going to say, follow your passion. What's holding you back? What's holding you back from actually taking the baby steps in the right direction? What's holding you back? Is it fear? Is it procrastination? Is it distraction? Or maybe is it mediocrity? What's holding you back? Because, there are many reasons why people don't reach their dreams. And you must understand the issues that keep you away from actually achieving your potential success. It is good to know what is keeping you away from your dreams, as you can then, you can try to change the way you approach them. What's holding you back from going confident in the direction of your dreams? Kings and queens, it's so essential to assess your goals' progress. Assess your goals' progress. Once you identify the reasons why you are being held back from actually reaching your goals, you can then try and work on it and improve. But the good thing is that you can always conquer the motives if you recognize them. So being here, it shows that you are not willing to settle for that mediocre life. So don't let anyone else stand in the way of your dreams. You really don't have to see the whole staircase in life to get to the top, but you need to take the first step to get to the top. As my mentor always say, that you don't have to be great to get started, but you'll have to get started to become great in life. So get started today. So if you're that entrepreneur maybe who dream of reshaping the world through your business and envision like several extra commas in your bank account, yet you